Deadlifting 5 plates on each side is no joke. That's not something people just walk in off the street, grab a deadlift for the first time and stand up with 495. That does not happen, okay? So if you want to get to 495, you got to have some strategy to get there. Before we get into that video and I tell you exactly how I finally got to a 495 deadlift, quick introduction. My name is Alex Wallace. This channel is all about making you a more complete beast, okay? So we're going to talk about entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about fitness, obviously. We're also going to talk about finance, okay? So that is the direction of this channel. If you're somebody that wants to level up across the board, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. If at any point in this video you learned something, then like the video, comment something down below because that helps the YouTube algorithm, and we are trying to grow this channel. I was actually pretty good at certain exercises, but the deadlift was not one of them. First time I deadlifted, I did like some crazy combination of like sumo deadlift, but not really wide enough, and I just picked it up. And believe it or not, I got to the point where I could do 315 for 6, and then I absolutely fucking destroyed my back to the point where it was like, no chance, right? Like I knew I was doing something wrong. So how I got to a 495 deadlift was first and foremost is figuring out foot placement that worked for me and worked for my hips. Okay, so what people don't realize is there's a huge variation between people on how their actual femoral head sits in their hip socket, okay? Some people, they're very shallow, some people it's very deep, and how my deadlift looks isn't gonna be how your deadlift looks. Okay, so this is what I want you to do as a general start. If you haven't already done this, then make sure you do this. This is a good general start, and then you can have some minor adjustments from there. If you're a sumo deadlifter, it's gonna be a little bit different, but I find that most people are conventional deadlifters. So I want you to stand on the ground, and I want you to jump as high as you can. So right before you take off, stop and look down. Okay, how your feet are is how you naturally produce power. Okay, that stance right there is a fantastic place to start on how to actually set up a deadlift correctly. Okay, so that's the first technical issue that I see people have on the deadlift. They're not really thinking about foot placement. They just kind of walk up, grab it, and pull it. Okay, so we've done an entire video on the perfect conventional deadlift setup, and I will link that at the end of this video. But this is like a little more granular. If you're watching this video, you probably already have a substantial deadlift. You probably already have deadlifted 315, 405. You're stuck somewhere before 495, but not too far away. So that's like more of a pro tip, okay? Subtle adjustments in how your feet are angled and where they're positioned will help you develop more power and help you get more weight up. Okay, the second thing that helped me get to 5 plates each side on the deadlift was having a strong upper back. Okay, so there's a lot of people up there that can deadlift with a rounded upper back. Okay, that is not me, and I find that's not most people. Typically what happens, if somebody rounds at the upper back, they can blast their deadlift off the floor, they get to their knees, and then they start doing this shit, and then before you know it, they're either hitching the weight up or they're dead stop there and they have to drop it. Okay, now there are people who have that pull with the rounded upper back and they can lift it up. Like Pete Rubish is one of them, and he's a lot stronger than me. But most people that I work with, that I've seen, and again, I own a gym, they have to have a nice neutral upper back to actually finish the deadlift. So getting a strong upper back, but do it specifically. Here's the exercise. I want you to do a pendule row or a dead stop barbell row. Okay, so a pendule row is more explosive, dead stop is more controlled, but the important thing is you're building upper back strength from a position that's more specific to the deadlift. Okay, I like the pendule row a little bit more, but for people who have a gym that they can't really drop weights, there's no bumper plates, a dead stop barbell row is another fantastic option in order to strengthen your upper back from a specific position. So again, remember, you're doing that to actually prevent rounding and help you carry the deadlift through a more mechanically advantageous position in terms of finishing the deadlift. I notice a lot of guys that pull with a weaker upper back, a rounded upper back, they can't finish it. So that's step one, get your feet right. Step two, build specific upper back strength. And then this is step three. And this isn't gonna be without controversy, but I know for a fact it helped me. Be able to do the glute ham raise on a glute ham device. Okay, this is different than a leg curl. A leg curl, obviously you can, you prone leg curl or seated leg curl, you are hitting your hamstrings effectively, nobody can deny that, but it doesn't really require as much out of the glutes because you can do whatever you want with your glutes as long as you're pulling the weight up. To correctly do the glute ham raise on the glute ham device, you need to be activating your glutes as you're actually executing the movement with your hamstrings. Okay, so now obviously this is going to strengthen your hamstrings and your glutes, which will translate into the deadlift. But more than anything, I know that this helped me be able to fire with my glutes and my hamstrings at the same time, which I know allowed me to stand up with my deadlift. Okay, so the issues and the exercises that I dealt with in order to get to 5 plates each side on the deadlift was all about specific strength to help me stay in a better mechanical position to actually finish the deadlift. Okay, so just to recap again, real quick. Number one, foot placement. Experiment with it. Start how you would naturally produce power and then kind of play with it from there. Step two, build upper back strength from a very specific deadlift position. So whether that's a pendlay row or dead stop row, that depends on the gym, its equipment, and what it allows you to do. And then step three, be able to do the glute ham raise on the glute ham device. And when you can do that, it will effectively use your hamstrings and your glutes at the same time, which will absolutely translate into the deadlift. Okay, so if you learned something, do me a favor, like the video. If you're interested in seeing more content like this, then go on our channel and actually look at some of the videos we made. We have over 100 videos, most of them are fitness, but we're starting to get into that place where we're starting to make some entrepreneurship content, we're starting to make some finance content, some investment content. And remember, this channel is to make you a more complete beast. This channel is to help you level up all across the board. I'm Alex Wallace, and I will see you in the next video.